Oh, he didn't delete it. You will delete it?
Huh? This backward can be very systematic analysis.
Huh?
She sent you something, right? Some write-up about her?
Sorry?
She sent you some write-up about her, right?
No, just 2-3 lines of
I have a write-up.
Yeah, give me some. Because that way,
Okay, so we restart everything again. This was just the mock. So जी आप बोलो जब ready है. चलो. So Hare Krishna. So welcome to this program on child protection, awareness, especially for the parents. So this program will go on for next 2 hours. So before Sevamurti Radhika Mataji starts this program, I would like to just give a quick intro about her. So Sevamurti Radhika Mataji, she is a psycho-spiritual counselor. She is a government certified POSH trainer and consultant. She is a certified career counselor. She has about 3 degrees in education. Her basic education she has done is MSc in psychology. She basically loves working with children and for the children. She conducts workshops for parents and teachers. She was a principal of Vasudevam Vedic School. She is also a board member of the Hare Krishna Sunday School. So she has done a lot of certificate and school counseling programs. She has attended workshops on information assessment and management strategies. And then she has pre-writing skills, supporting and understanding children with ADHD. She is also an individual education plan designer specifically. She has done a lot of activities used, and she conducts activities used during counseling sessions, expressive art therapy, and reversal remediation. She is a chief knowledge officer at Krish Welfare Foundation, and she is a counseling psychologist. So I think that's good enough. Right? So she will start the program now and will go on for 2 hours. So as we would like to mention, this is more of an interactive program. It's not just the knowledge will flow from one side, it's more interactive. So as and when you have any doubts, you need clarification, you can just check with Mataji. Okay? Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Sri Ram Pandit Loji and Kamala Mataji, for giving me this opportunity. And thanks to all of you for coming for this program. So, time and again, ISKCON Vrindavan is introducing and conducting programs on child protection, which is very necessary. And I'm really fortunate, I feel very fortunate to participate in such programs. So, and today, another good thing has happened. We are inaugurating our new screen for children. So we can see that, temple gives opportunities and importance to children. So we will begin with a small story, or let me say one small episode of my life. I'll relate to my life, and then any one of you can tell me whether you have had a similar experience or not, any time in your life, okay? So this is when I was in school. I was a small girl. I was in school, and I had to, go up to the stage and say something. And I had to hold a mic like this. So this is me, 46-year-old, but that was me who was literally shaking and trembling from inside. I had many different feelings at that time when my teacher gave me this mic to hold and say something to the entire assembly. So I was very small and my knees were shaking. I had something inside my tummy, and my heart was throbbing at a very fast pace. So I'm just trying to put everything in words, but that was my feeling. I felt all of that, but I did not say it to my teacher or my parents or my friends. What I can express it, how I can express it now. And I feel now that I was the only one having a feeling like that. I feel nobody feels like that. Is that true? Do you agree with me? I had something rolling inside my tummy. My heart was tuk, 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 like very fast. And my knees were shaking. Although it was not seen from outside like this, but the hands were literally going like this from inside. Maybe, I was like this on the stage. And I really think it happened only with me, because I don't see other people. I saw other children going up very confidently on the stage and saying everything and then coming down the stage. Why was I feeling that way? I don't know. But these were my feelings. What do you say? Have you ever felt like that? Ever in your life? Yes? Kamala Mataji says yes. Yes? Huh? It's quite common. Can anybody else describe that feeling? What happens? Anxiety, okay. Like I put it in the words, like there was something inside my tummy and my knees were shaking. Any other symptom that you can relate to, or any? It's a fear, anxiety. Okay, no confidence. But do you feel, like your body reacting to it? Ever? I gave you one incident that when I was made to stand on the stage. Is there any other time we feel such things?
During exam.
During exam, yes, very nice example. And? So you agree with me that this is a common thing. But do we ever talk about it with children? It's a common thing, right? All children experience that sometime or the other. If a child is away from the mother for few minutes, child may experience this kind of a feeling, isn't it? If a teacher is scolding in the class or the friends are bullying, child may experience these kind of things. But do we really talk to children about these things? If it is so common, then why don't we talk about it? Right? So this is our first objective of our training today. We'll be talking about how can we understand our little Vaishnavas. How do we understand their feelings? What are they feeling? Are they feeling something inside their tummy? What do they, what are their emotions? What are their unspoken words? Because as I told you, I never communicated it to teacher that time, that there's something rolling inside my tummy. I never said that. Those were unspoken words. My teacher did not tell me that if you have feeling like this, feeling, you should tell me. This is called, what is the name of that feeling? I did not know. So those are kind of unspoken words. And their psychological state. It's written 2 times, unspoken words. Because it's really, we need to understand. We do not give enough vocabulary. Do we teach these things are these things there in the school curriculum in any book? So this is the training to understand all of this, right? So this is the first objective, what we are going to understand today, okay? Now, the second objective of today's training is that I am going to explain through activity. And I know this activity I have done so many times in last 15 years that almost everybody knows, right? Recently, I had gone to meet some people, and it was like I had to introduce myself, and I took my balloons and pins. So one person over there, he said like this, do you always carry, ma'am, do you always carry these balloons and pins? I said, this is my identity, what to do? Because I really want to take this example to each and every person who's dealing with child or who's not even dealing with children. Because this is the reality, this is the hard reality, and in these 15 years I have still not found any other activity which can, communicate and which can make us understand the deep reality of CSA, child sexual abuse. So we'll again do that activity, regular balloon and pin activity, but we'll try to see that how we understand it today, okay? So I would like 2 volunteers, maybe Krishnadas' parents can come. Two volunteers, so both of you can come. You can blow this. No, you. Only you. Yeah, she'll have something else. Mataji, come. Come, come, come. No, you will not have balloons. You come to me. You'll have something different.
इसको just for bigger.
Enough. Your name, Mataji? Bhakti Mataji. You are here for the first time. This is new for you, right? And it's new for you, this activity. So every time I find some people for whom this balloon pin activity is new. Yeah. It's new for you also. Okay, nice. I'm excited now. Okay. So you have the balloon. Come, Mataji. Blow one more.
Should I tie the knot?
Yes.
Okay, done.
Okay, both of you can have. Give me the pin.
This is what we do, I think.
I don't know. But I count from 20 to 1, okay? And this is the only place because we are in the camera, right?
Yes.
So don't go outside this place, okay? 20, 19. Oh, I just put this in the mic. This is the place. You do not have to, run around anywhere. And I'm counting from 20 to 1, okay? 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay. What happened now? It's recorded, right? Did I tell you to burst the balloon? It's recorded, no? Everybody is watching. See, it's going live. I never said, I just said I'm counting. Okay, never mind. See what you made. Never mind. Now you return me the original one.
I can't.
This is serious. But why? Try something. See, this was also like this. Isn't it? So how can you return me the same balloon that I gave her? No? Okay, never mind. But you can do it. It was your balloon. Can you make it like this again? No. Okay. But can you really tell me? See, one part is lying there also. Can you tell me from where did you break it? Show me that point where you put the pin. Can you? It was your balloon. You should know from where did she burst it. Huh? Show me the right point. Where did it burst from? You can show. You were here. You can show, Mataji. You were watching nicely. Can you show it? You saw everything? Can you show? From where did she put the pin? No. Right? Okay, how much time did it take to burst the balloon? For the fraction of a second. Right? So if I ask you that this balloon, give some adjectives for this balloon. Adjectives, anything to describe this balloon.
A white, fully blown balloon.
Anything.
Round.
Round.
Yeah.
Mataji?
Filled with air, it's not vacuum.
Anything that you would like to say about the balloon? Beautiful?
Same.
Huh?
Same.
Same. Okay. Shape, okay.
It's very delicate.
Delicate, yes. Delicate and fragile. Delicate and fragile. Can we use these same adjectives for children? Beautiful, full of life, colorful people, right? And delicate and fragile, right? So children are like this. And if there is any abuse, they become like this. It is very hard to find out from where did the pin pitch. We keep asking, what happened? What happened? But children cannot say what happened to them. Okay, thank you very much. So, this is our second objective. To understand how do we keep our children safe? How do we preserve their smiles? Right? Because children are always smiling. Okay, if they are in their original states, they are, they have not gone through any tragic situations, they are always smiling. So how do we preserve those smiles? How do we help them learn? Because learning stops. You cannot make this child learn anything. Right? So how to help them learn, how to help them become good devotees. This is our target. All devotee parents, they want their children to become devotees. Right? So this is very essential. This child cannot become a devotee. Right? How to help them celebrate childhood and how to help them serve Krishna. So I took a lot of time to tell the objectives of this training, but these are necessary. If we understand these things, it's very easy to go through the entire training. Right? So what are the symptoms of a burst balloon? Let us understand. We see all these things. We actually see every day. We see violent children. We see withdrawal symptoms in children. Nahi, mujhe school nahi jana. No, I don't want to go to school. Right? They have certain withdrawal symptoms. They are scared. They are depressed. They are irritated at times. Okay, these are some of the symptoms. It does not necessarily mean that these symptoms show that they have been sexually assaulted, they have been sexually abused, but something has happened with them. That is why they will do like this. In normal condition, children will not behave like that. Okay, they have adamant behavior. They keep crying. They have crying spells. Every other time they are, some children they are crying. Okay, they have certain behavioral issues, they have anger, they have disorders. Okay, so children who are abused any time in their life, they have these problems. Okay, so these are the symptoms of a burst balloon. So we should understand that if a child is showing these kind of symptoms, somewhere or the other, some pin or the other has really touched my child. That is why my child is crying. Because a normal child, just take it on yourself and try to understand. If nothing has happened to, why would I cry? If I'm crying, that means there is some pain. And maybe I'm not able to express that pain. I do not have the vocabulary. I cannot say. Right? And what is this pain? Busy or unaware parents. Sometimes parents are busy, sometimes they are unaware of the situations, that what is happening in the world right now. So ignorance is not good. We have to keep ourselves updated. If something bad happens, if a parent or any family member or any person at school or any person in the neighborhood is bullying your child or has beaten your child, you cannot say that I was not aware that this person will be doing like this. Isn't it? Because after the balloon has broken, you cannot remake it. If somebody has slapped your child, if your child has suffered something, you cannot remake it. That pain will be there for some time, isn't it? So we have to be aware all the time, right? Then there are other things. Sometimes studies are very boring. They make no sense to children. What is a square plus b square plus 2ab plus this and that? So sometimes it's very boring. So we need to understand. We cannot just say, oh, you have to do this. You have to do this. Right? If it's not making sense to children, because they don't understand why they have to do it. Forced activities, we force it on children, no, do this, without making any sense to them. Why they must do it. There should be a reason. There should be some talk before that activity. Okay? If somebody forces us to do certain thing, we will definitely say no. And if the child is saying no, that means it's showing the child's intelligence. The child understands. Why do you want to become, make the child dumb? That don't ask, just do it. That means don't use your mind, just do it. What is that logic? That means become dumb. Don't be creative. And then when they grow up, they have no ideas. It's really shocking. It's really shocking. I deal with children, so I'm telling you, like, if I tell them that if I give them paper, draw something, some children, most of the children, I will not say some children, most of the children, teenagers, they are blank. What to make? This is a pathetic situation. They have no ideas. Right? Very interesting incident here I'm reminded of. I did this experiment in 2019. Unfortunately, I don't have a video of this right now to show you. There were 6 children who were 2 years old, 2 plus. And I prepared a room where I put chart papers on the floor, pasted chart papers on the floor. So 6 children, 6 chart papers, big chart papers. And with those chart papers, watercolor and brushes. I kept like this. I made children wear aprons and I brought them in the room and made them sit at all 6 on all 6 chart papers. I didn't say a word. Every child, they took the brush, dipped it in the watercolor and started to paint. Randomly they were scribbling. And none of them, they raised their heads. They got so busy coloring the chart paper. Okay? I did not speak a word. I did not tell any child, see, this is the brush, dip it in the paint and then put it on the... No, nothing. Okay? The same experiment I did with 3.5-year-old children. 6 children, 3.5-year-old. Right? Made them sit like that. None of them took the brush. None of them. All 6. Can you understand why? Because by the time they are 3 and 4, they have heard so many times, no, don't touch that, no, you'll make a mess, no, don't do that. The brain stops. No. So they're scared. So when I told them, you can, because they were looking blankly at my face. And then I encourage them, see, this is your chart paper, these are your colors, whatever you can do. They were not having the ideas. So one child said, what do we have to do? We have to, make our hand painted and then print that. I said, whatever you want to do. So it was very, very hard for me to, make them think. Because we have to clean up after they have made mess. Because of that reason, what do? We stop their creativity. We kill their creativity. Don't think. Don't do this. Don't run here. Don't shout. Shh. Don't shout. So if some child abuser is touching, why will they shout? They will face the abuse. Isn't it? So these are very little things that we have to remember, right? And what is the need of the training? What does Srila Prabhupada say? The protection of children gives the human form of life its best chance to prepare the way of liberty from material bondage. Isn't that so lovely to know? That if we are serving children, if we are trying to protect them, in a way we are also getting protection from this material bondage, right? Prabhupada further says in one of the lectures that if we are able to make a whole generation of our children into fine Krishna conscious preachers, that will be the glory of our movement and the glory of our country as well. But if we neglect somehow or other, and if we lose even one Vaishnava, that is a very great loss. So we have to be very careful, right? And another thing is that sometimes as devotees we are unaware of the situations that impact our children. And awareness is important, right? We already discussed this. Because without developing the awareness of these issues as teachers or as parents, we are not equipped to help our children. Right? How will we understand that what is needed for the children? Okay? So here comes the warning now. As we go ahead with this training, we always see that people think before coming into this training whether we should go child protection, what will happen, what will we be told, we'll be talking about sexual abuse, it's very heavy, no, our children will not face that, our children are quite protected, why to go there? There are so many thoughts, so much hesitation, yes, and stigma also, that these things do not happen, denial is there, right? So I need to give the warning here, because the further we move in this training, there will be certain things which can give you some sleepless nights, right? So I'll request everybody who's present here and those who are seeing it online, they can call me after this program, and those who are sitting here, please do not leave this room without having all your questions answered. Okay, that is very important. If you have any question, please do ask me. Do not leave, unanswered questions. That is dangerous. Not for you, for your children. Okay? Sometimes what happens, I give this training and people start walking out. No, enough. That has also happened. That no, we cannot hear. But to save our children, to protect our children, we have to. And that was my case earlier. When I joined in 2010, ISKCON Vrindavan, Gurukul, the first time I heard, I literally became sick. I had fever for 2 days. I couldn't digest it. My children were very small and I got so scared for them. So I can relate to that. When people start walking out, I can relate to it because I also did the same thing. But then you have to prepare yourself to understand these topics well, just for the interest of children, so that they are well protected. And I became so much against this child protection team. And I used to tell my friends and family that this is so wrong, why ISKCON Vrindavan is holding these kind of trainings, I was like this. And today I'm standing here. Sometimes I look back and it's really amazing for me. I never realized that I'll be coming in this position. Because I made myself hear it. Okay, if it is good for my children, I will hear it. I had that determination. Even if I am falling sick, I will hear it. Because my children will be protected. Children under my care will be protected. And that is my duty to hear it. Right? That is how I forced myself. And I saw the importance that this is the basic thing that we all should know. This is not something, advanced knowledge which will do something extra for our children. No, this is the foundation. This is the base. If we do not make the foundation of the building, how many ever stories we build, it is going to fall down one day. Right? So that is how we take this training. So what is Child Protection Team? It is a group of 2 or 3 devotees who have this knowledge of child protection in every temple, and it's mandatory, and in India also, in abroad also, wherever we have ISKCON temples or small setup of ISKCON, we do have child protection training team, right? So it's very essential, and the role of child protection team is 2 ways. One is proactive measures they take. Proactive measures means like this training, awareness programs, okay, so that people in the community, they understand the importance and they keep their children protected. And there are other proactive measures such as making the temple safe, having the cameras or the announcements happening from time to time, some signs here and there. So these are all proactive measures, right? And the reactive measures are, if anything unfortunate happens, then child protection team is the, these are the devotees who help, who know, they are well aware that what is to be done. How do we take care of children? How do we manage the case? How do we, hold the offender? What are the legal processes? Everything child protection people, they know. And here in this temple, we have Swarna Mataji and Sri Ram Pandit Prabhuji, right? And why is this child protection needed? So, because ISKCON community takes extra special care for children, it's the law. The GBC gives the guidelines that it is compulsory, right? Now coming to the main topic, what is child abuse? Child abuse means anything that is not good for children or the child doesn't feel comfortable in, right? So the meaning of abuse goes, abuse has been defined as a verbal or physical behavior by a person towards another person, okay, which can mean upsetting or demeaning, right? Suppose I say to a child, you are dull, you are dumb, and the child is feeling bad, this is an abuse to the child. Right? We cannot take it lightly. Okay? So these are just little datas that how frequent is the child abuse. Now we do not see it much. We do not, sometimes we may feel that, oh, I have not seen here anything like this happen. Why are we having these kind of programs again and again? I don't see any child facing such big dangers, right? But give it a thought that if something is happening to your child, will you tell others? These things are always hidden. Like the tip of the pin. Can you see it? When Mataji when you burst the balloon, did you see it? of the pin is always unseen. So the abuse is always unseen. You cannot see it so much. Yes, the very worst cases, they come on TV. They come in news. Isn't it? But how many come in news? Not every case comes in the news. We all understand that. Isn't it? So the studies show, the research show that child sexual abuse in India is 53%. And outside India also it is 53%. 53% are reported cases. That means in a class of 50 children, more than 25 have already faced some kind or the other. This I am talking about sexual abuse. Right? So how dangerous it is. And we feel we have no need to understand it. Right? So we have to open our eyes to the fact that yes, this is very serious thing and we need to understand it. Right? Now, the findings also show that 94.8% of rape cases saw children being raped by someone they knew, not strangers. Sometimes we teach children stranger danger, that strange men, do not talk to them. But the studies show that these are the people children know. Neighbor, friend, teacher. Now everybody comes in the list. Everybody comes in the list. It's that shocking. Kali Yuga, isn't it? Even family members, very close biological parents are there in the list. So 94% is a huge number, no? So how careful we have to be, right? And these are certain myths that we need to know about. We feel that only strangers can do such a thing. We feel that women cannot abuse. Women cannot abuse, but we have cases where women have abused, right? House workers or, anybody, here also like anybody. Child sexual abuse happens only in poor or problem families. This is also wrong. In good families also it is happening sometimes. Boys cannot be abused, or we feel that only beautiful children, like we were having this discussion before the beginning of this training, that boys are also in danger. We cannot refuse this fact. Okay? Then we think that CSA is a Western concept. That is very common in India. And especially here we do face this challenge in Vrindavan, where we have an international community. We think that Westerners here, they have brought this concept in India. Otherwise India is a safe country, and in India we do not have CSA, child sexual abuse. But this is not true. It's not something Western. This is global. Everywhere things are happening like this. Right? And we feel that only, big children, they are abused. Small children, they are safe. That is also wrong. Okay, we have several cases of very small children also. Okay, so these are 4 types of child abuse. Physical, anything on the body. Okay. Then we have psychological, which under which comes verbal abuse also, like mentally if somebody is having problem. Sexual abuse and neglect. Neglect is when the basic needs are not fulfilled. Food, clothing, shelter. These 3 are basic needs, and also love and education. These are 5 basic needs of children which every child must get. And if these are not fulfilled, this also comes under child abuse. Okay? So I think there's lot of talking. Let's do some activity now. So who would like to come? 2 people again. You can come, Mataji. Come. And those who have not participated, Mataji, you can come. Come just 1 minute. It's a very interesting thing. Nothing. No, Bhakti Mataji. Come. Kamala Mataji, would you like to come? Yes. Come. Do not be scared. It's very interesting activity. You'll enjoy. Yeah. So, can you make a fist? Come this side so that you are in the camera. Yes. Mataji, come. You make. And Kamala Mataji has to open it.
I have to open.
You have to open it. First tell can Mataji open it?
Yes, Mataji.
Can I?
Yes.
Okay, so she is very gentle. Don't let her open. It should be very tight.
No, I can't.
No? Okay. Now you close. You open. Open.
Can I use both hands?
I did not say how. I just said open it. Okay, that's all. You cannot open, you cannot open. Acha, when you are trying to open each other's fist, is it paining? Yes?
Little pain comes there.
Little pain comes. Now both of you close your fist. High five. I'm telling you. Hare Krishna. Shake hand. Hare Krishna. Did I give you pain?
No.
And I opened it in how much time?
Second.
I did not tell how to open. I just said open.
Yeah.
Right? But why did both of you try to open like this? Any answer?
I thought maybe I cannot open with my single hand.
Okay. Yeah, I never thought that I can ask. Give me 5, shake hands.
Okay, thank you so much. So what these 2 Matajis did, everybody does like this. Everybody. Wherever I go and do this training, and in 15 years, and I have done with lots and lots of people. When we do in a very large group, we make everybody stand and in 2 lines and ask them to open, and everybody is like, okay. Why like this?
Even I participated in one of your workshops. Now I remember. Then. Even I participated one of your workshops. So still I forgot. You see, it's very... Yes.
Very nicely Mataji has said. She participated earlier, then she forgot. Again she was trying to open like this. Yes. So what happens? What does psychology say about it? This is called, we have something fixed inside our mind, that this can happen this way only. There is no other way. In psychology, there's a term called Einstein effect. This is that effect that works, which doesn't let us think in some creative way. It stops design thinking. It stops creativity. We don't think. So what happens that if there is some problem which can have some physical answer, we tend to become physical. This is the first response that we have. In the whole atmosphere, we see that if a child is doing some mistake, slap, be hard, right? And the child will understand. This is the only solution which comes to 88% of people in India. Highly shocking fact. 88% of people in India, they think that only beating children is the solution, is the only way to discipline them. How is it possible? And they think this is the easy way. Is this the easy way? No. The easy way is different and interesting. It's beautiful. Disciplining children is not difficult. It's very interesting. When I gave high five, did you enjoy? There was a smile on your face. Why give pain to children? There's only one condition, that we hit, that we beat, that we do this physical abuse, when we are lacking. We do not know what are the ways out. We have not studied how to raise children. We have not studied how to make interesting lesson plans. We have not read child psychology. And we have become parents and we have become teachers. And we are very proud of it. That is the only thing when we hit a child. Otherwise, there is no need. If we know child psychology, how a 4-year-old will behave, how a 18-year-old will behave, how 15-year-old will behave, what is the attention span of a 3-year-old child, what are pre-reading skills, what is cognitive behavior, then where will be the need to hit a child? We will design nice activities. Raising children will be fun. Okay, we will not need, like this attitude, what to do with these children. So physical abuse we have to stop. Right? Then comes psychological abuse, similar, that just as I said about physical abuse, when we do not have anything to say, or we are at loss of activities, we have no ideas, then only we tell, badmash, stupid, dumb. Right? Otherwise we'll have some nice adjectives for children. And they'll also behave nicely. Okay? So, this will take time. Okay. So under physical abuse comes punching, slapping, beating, shaking, whipping, caning, burning, biting, ear twisting, pushing, pulling. On the screen it looks like, "Hare, hum to nahi karte, we don't do this." But there are cases when people out of frustration, they are doing like this. Right? It's not just about children. Sometimes parents, they are fighting among themselves, or they are frustrated, or they have not slept enough, or they have, the adults. Then also these things come. Anger goes to children. Neglect we already discussed. And psychological abuse also we discussed, but we can do this activity a little bit. Can volunteers come, or? How do I do it? Mataji, you can come now. आ जाओ जाओ. Okay. You just have to stand. आपको कुछ करना नहीं है. हाँ. Name?
Madhu.
Madhu Mataji. From?
Delhi.
Delhi. Okay, from Delhi. Okay. So, ये friend है आपकी? Okay. तो आपको वहीं से देखना है इनको. You just see her. Okay? And can you go out? आप बाहर जाओगे, ठीक है? और फिर 2 मिनट बाद वापस आ जाना. जैसे ये 2 डोर्स है ना, आप बाहर चले जाओ और फिर वापस आ जाना. ठीक है? सिर्फ 2 मिनट में, ज़्यादा टाइम नहीं रुकना बाहर. देख के जाओ इनको अच्छे से, ऊपर से नीचे पूरा अच्छे से देख के जाओ, ठीक है? उनका नाम क्या? सत्यभामा. Okay, so while this Mataji is out, you do little change. कुछ change करो. वो छोटा सा, बहुत छोटा change होना चाहिए जो उनको दिखे नहीं, जो उनको दिखे नहीं, मतलब समझ ना पाए. छोटा सा change करो. नहीं, ये तो बहुत बड़ा change है. बैग निकाल दो, ये तो बहुत बड़ा change होता है. हाँ, रिंग निकाल दो. बैग वैसे कर दो, बैग वैसे कर दो. वो आने वाला. एक रिंग निकाल दो. कम माता जी. आप अभी इनको देख के गए थे, आपको कोई चेंज दिखा इनमें? एनी चेंज?
ध्यान से देखो.
हाँ,
माता जी ने बोला
ध्यान से देखो,
ध्यान से देखो.
ध्यान से देखो. Smile as it is. Okay. What else? कुछ तो चेंज आया होगा. देखो वैसे की वैसी है. हैंड्स भी ऐसे ही थे. रिकॉर्ड हो रहा है कैमरा में. हैंड्स तो ऐसे ही थे. We approve. Change anything? No, you cannot say. आपने क्या चेंज किया बता दो.
I remove the ring.
एक रिंग रिमूव करी थी, नहीं पहचान पाए ना? और डिफिकल्ट था ना?
हाँ.
जो इमोशनल चेंज आता है ना, इट इज एक्सट्रीमली डिफिकल्ट टू फाइंड आउट. इट इज अ वेरी स्लो चेंज बिकॉज थॉट्स आर हिडन. यू कैनॉट सी. If a child is suffering psychological abuse, you cannot even make out if the child doesn't say. If Mataji will not tell you that she has removed one ring, you cannot find out. And if she hides the hand like this, hides her fingers, you just cannot make out what change happened. So these are very minor changes which come in children, and you just cannot make out. Sometimes children cannot tell, sometimes they hide it. What will you do to understand psychological abuse?
Ask questions.
Ask questions. Thank you, Mataji. Become aware yourself that what can hurt your child. Who is that person who's hurting my child? What is happening to my child? Ask questions to children. Ask questions to yourself. And be aware. That's the only way we can stop, put an end to psychological abuse. Otherwise, it's very hard. Right? So this also little bit, I'll now go a little fast because time is less. There are certain risk factors. What happens if children are abused, if sometime or the other, if the balloon is burst, what do we do? How do we understand? What is the risk? They may have low IQ, right? They are at a risk of having low self-esteem. A broken balloon can never fly. Will always lie down on the floor, right? And other balloons will fly. So this balloon will have low self-esteem. They may have social anxiety. They may have problem of inattention. They may have sleep issues or eating disorders. Anything can happen, right? There can be social factors, family factors, cultural factors. Everywhere it is disturbed. So we just have to make sure that balloon doesn't break. So we have heard so much about child protection, the child abuse. Now what do we do? What is our duty, right? So we have to be vigilant all the time. We should observe our child's behavior. That if the child is behaving little awkward or is scared of somebody or is scared of certain situation, doesn't want to go there, don't force. Try to understand why the child doesn't want to go there. Because sometimes children do not have enough vocabulary to tell us that I don't want to go there because they don't have that vocabulary, right? Observe your child's reaction to a particular adult or another child. Why is my child scared with that individual? Why is my child scared with that particular child? Why does my child does not want to sit with that child? Right? Observe other people's behavior towards your children. And even if you have little suspicion, please contact child protection team. That is very essential. Okay? Little suspicion also, you contact child protection team because these members are knowledgeable enough to guide you. What will happen if it is wrong? Okay. But you have cleared your doubt. Isn't it? So never, leave any suspicion. Now these are two important verses that as devotees we always read. We understand there is there's a lot of problem. There is child sexual abuse, okay, this, whatever we heard in the previous slides. What does scriptures tell us about this? What is there in the scriptures? So in Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 7, Chapter 12, verse number 9, it says that woman is compared to a fire and man is compared to a butter pot. Therefore, a man should avoid associating even with his own daughter in a secluded place. Similarly, he should avoid association with other women. One should associate with women only for important business and not otherwise. This is the purport, the meaning of the verse. So it says that women and men, they are compared to fire. Women is compared to fire and men are compared to butter. Even if we keep butter in the refrigerator, in the freezer for 10,000 years, let it become like a rock. If it comes near the fire, it is going to melt. There is no chance that the butter will not melt. Is that true? Right? So women and men should be separated. But here we are talking about children. So what is common? The next verse explains. This is also the same, related to the previous verse. That one should not allow oneself to sit on the same seat even with one's own mother, sister, daughter, for the senses are so strong that even though one is very advanced in knowledge, he may be attracted by sex. It's written very clearly that senses are very strong. Sometimes there are men who do not want to rape and still they are compelled by their senses to act in a certain way. We can understand it, with small examples, like sometimes we understand, okay, it's the street food, it's not very clean, we do not have to eat golgappas on the street, but we are so much compelled by our senses. No, I want to eat this, I want to taste this. If we cannot control this tongue, how can we control the genitals? So control begins with understanding these two verses of Bhagavatam. Bhagavatam never says wrong. It's everything mentioned over there. Now there is another verse in Canto 1 where the scene is set that Krishna comes back to Dwaraka, and when Krishna comes home, all his wives are there to meet him. But there are many elderly people in the palace. There are many people, like the whole kingdom comes to meet Krishna. Now, the wives of Krishna, they want to go and hug their husband. But publicly they cannot go. Can they go publicly? No. Wife cannot go and embrace the husband. So, all of them, they send their children, their sons, to go and embrace their father. And it's mentioned in Bhagavatam that when children embrace their father, the wives feel that they have embraced their husband. What do we understand here? Children, they are part of mother, small children. They also have soft skin. They are also like females. Right? And the verses say that senses are so strong that even the person who is trying to control them, for that person also, it can be dangerous. Right? So we have to understand what the scriptures are telling us, what the reality is. If we associate and we do not know which thought is coming in whose mind, that's like the tip of the pen. You will never know that which person is thinking what about your child. So the only way left, the way you can protect the children is this separation. Distance your children. Right? Keep little distance. They should not, indulge too much. Okay? So that is why it's very easy, like we hear it so many times in so many lectures, we read it so many times, that if we follow the rules as it is, if I'm stopping at red light, I don't move my car, why will traffic police ever catch me? Okay, so we have to understand. Now, I think at this point it's almost done. There are certain resources in this presentation that I can tell. I would like to take questions now. Is there any question after so much of hearing? Any question? How do you feel? You can share, because I feel this was quite heavy. What is your feeling? Did you ever think that it would be like this? I can see serious faces. Prabhuji, anything you want to say? You're thinking a lot. No? It's allowed. You have to think. It's really important.
Maybe you can explain about why the child is abused. So the parents sometimes they would not know without saying, right? But I think that they can even sense something has changed. The feeling is different. So how can parents approach the child and ask in a way that the children open up themselves? Maybe you can give some explanation on that.
Thank you. This is an important question, and it's there in this presentation, that how do we, take care? What is the response to an abused child? So the very first concern is take care of the child. make sure child is out of danger. Number one thing, first you bring the child out of danger. Make sure other children are also out of danger. That means you report to child protection team that such and such activity has taken place anywhere, Follow up with the counseling. These are the basic things that you have to do. But along with this, how do you take care of the victim? You first take care of immediate needs. Comfort, believe and understand. Give the child comfort and believe the child. Most of the time we feel no, nothing like this has happened. We do not believe. We feel the child is telling us a story. Somewhere the child has heard, or the child is making up a story. Right? And try to understand. Assure that it is not their fault. Because most of the time children feel that it is their fault, and that is why they do not speak up. They have this idea that if I tell, I would be told that, why did you go there? It is all your fault. So this is the, one line, but a very powerful line. When you tell children, no, it is not your fault, that helps them, encourages them to reveal, speak up. And do not over question. Leave it to experts. This is another very important point. If you are not understanding what has happened to the child, and if you have understood also that something very serious has happened, never over question. Because your questions can, change the story of, if the child is something important that you cannot understand the information or also, leave it to the experts. Sometimes it can be traumatic if you are over questioning. It can be traumatic to children. It is traumatic to children. So leave it to expert. Very first thing is give comfort, and then go and seek help from the counselor. Seek help from the child protection team. Right? That is why this help is provided in each of the ISKCON temples. Right? So this is it. Question? No? So I'll just tell the resources. So how to prevent child abuse? We have to educate everybody, the managers, the community members, everybody, volunteers, parents, children, right? And encourage any reporting. If you see any improper behavior in any community among your, among family members or among the community members, then you must report it. This is National Childline number 1098. We all must know, and our children must know. This is 24 hours, 1098, any time of the day, anybody can dial. And the response is very immediate. Here in Vrindavan, our head person is Zafar Alam sir. He is from Firozabad, who is the national person in this area. So anytime you call, the people online, they immediately respond. And this Zafar Alam sir, we all here in Vrindavan, the team, they are well connected with him. They are well connected with legal people, police and everybody. So this, you can train your children also into it, that 1098 we can dial anytime. Then this Childline only, they have released this video called Komal. This is in many languages, many Indian languages. This provides training to children. So it is important that you make your children watch this movie, this video called Komal. And above 9 years of age, all children should watch this. Okay. Then there are many Bollywood movies which are creating awareness on this topic. Right? We should be aware of this. And before this training, Shriram Pandit Prabhuji was telling about another movie. I'll add on to this. It will be sent in your groups. This is a book on CSA. It deals with its very nicely written, and it tells about the real cases in Indian courts. So this was written by Pinky Virani, who is a journalist by profession. In 2012, she wrote this book, and after that only POCSO Act came into existence. Till then, we did not have any law for CSA. There's another episode of Satyamev Jayate which tells about child sexual abuse. So these are all the awareness things that you should all know. And how do you train your children? You train your children by telling them that this is my body and nobody can touch it without my permission. You can tell children, it's all there in Komal video. If you go through that video, you will understand. If you are making your children watch that video, then it's okay. Everything is there, whatever I have written here. Okay, so the reporting procedure, this also you have to tell children, as well as you all should know, that if there is any suspicion, what do we do? When do we have to report? When incident is happening or when we see anything suspicious, we report it. Where? To Child Protection team, Child Protection Office, right? Every day in Mangala Aarti email, we do get the numbers. So numbers we are getting every day. Swarna Matiji and Shriram Pandit Prabhuji is there. So anything like that happens, you can report to them. And you all know office also, this welcome center, right? Shriram Prabhuji is always there. Every day he is there. You can directly go and report to him. He is the director. And how you should tell children also, like anyhow you should report. By email, by WhatsApp, by phone call, by personally going there, by writing to him, any way. But you should report it. Tell this to children also. Any way you want to report, you report it. And what to report? Everything. Everything. Every little thing that you know, please do tell. And who are the people? I already told to whom. Okay? So, this is our global CPO. We also have a national CPO. And Pancharatna Prabhuji is in charge of national CPO. And this is global CPO. Kamlesh Krishna Prabhuji and Gandharvika Mataji. They are based in London and they take care of Child Protection Office globally. Right? And this is the message which Kamlesh Krishna Prabhuji has given to all of you. Please do not be dismissive about child protection and think it will not take place under your authority. This is exactly what child abusers are looking for. Right? Please learn and attend the training. Put into action whatever you learn from this training. Thank you very much. Thank you.